Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. It is Friday morning, September the 8th, 2017, episode number 170, and I am so glad that you guys are here this morning, whether it's on the podcast, YouTube, or Facebook this morning. I'm glad that you're here. I hope your week was fantastic. So we had a very exciting morning here in the morning routine. I woke up this morning and I came into my office area to get ready for today's show, and I noticed that there was a comment made on the I read all the comments when people leave them on the Facebook or on YouTube. And I saw there was a comment on yesterday's post. This must have been last night, I guess. So, but I clicked on it and looked at it, and I am excited to say, guys, that I have had the first, after 170 episodes, I have had the first person comment with swear-filled word language and all kinds of terrible, derogatory things to say. I am so excited. It took me this long to get one of those. That's awesome. I love it. So I want to thank you, Martin. And I didn't know what to do with Martin. So Martin had a lot of things to say, and I don't know why. It really didn't make much sense. He was very upset about whether I do work or I don't work, whether I work hard or not, and my concepts on toilet paper, and basically my concepts on life. So he was very upset. So I didn't know, obviously, I hid his comments because I don't want anybody to be subjected to foul language on the morning routine comments, but I didn't know whether to ban him or not, right? To keep him from doing it again. Guess what, Martin? I'm so thrilled that you tuned in yesterday. Obviously, yesterday must have been your first time. I'm so thrilled that you were here that I didn't ban you. You are still allowed to join the morning routine and leave your derogatory comments as much as you would like. And I'll just hide the comments. But I'm glad that you're here, so thank you for giving me a first. Exciting way to kick off the Friday. So good morning, Ron, and everybody else that I just missed. Hope everybody is doing well this morning. And yesterday was a ho-hum day. Yesterday my work, wasn't as busy as I'd like it to be. In the evening time, my wife and I got to go out and we looked at a couple different fireplaces and things like that, just kicking around ideas, And it was a ho-hum day. That's what I'm going to call it. So watched some football last night. I got to stop going to bed early on football nights, man, because I went to bed and the Patriots were winning and looking like great. I wake up this morning and they got trounced, So Zach, my son, was dressed all in red in support of the Chiefs last night. He is not a Chiefs fan. He's just anybody that's playing against the Patriots fan. So he must have been thrilled last night. And I heard him making noises in the living room late at night, and that must have been why he stayed up so late, because it was very exciting for him. And let's see, I think that's kind of about it. Yesterday, really, it was just a non-eventful day, a regular day. But I hope everybody's doing well. And I do have some stories for you. So I listened to a podcast the other day. As you know, I'm a podcast guy. I love them. Interesting story, okay? In the show links will be the link to this podcast if you want to listen to it. It's by NPR. It's called How I Built This, I believe it is. And they did a story on the co-founders of Airbnb, which we all know what Airbnb is. They're huge, right? But Airbnb was very interesting. This story, these guys came up with the idea, were trying to make it work. It wasn't going anywhere. They were, out of money. They were using credit cards to try to pay for stuff and keep it going. It just wasn't going anywhere, right? So this is during the one of the elections with Obama. I can't remember what year it was. And he was going to be coming to town. So they had this great idea that they were going to sell Obama-O's cereal. So they create this cereal box and make this cereal, and they sell it for $40 a box. And by doing this, they raised enough money to pour back into Airbnb to push it the next step, which then they were able to get an investor that pushed it the rest of the way. And now here we are with a multi-billion-dollar company, Airbnb, all going back from being willing to sell cereal to get there. I'm telling you, it's like this thing. If you want to be an entrepreneur, man, you got to be willing to do anything. Great story. Link to the entire podcast is in the show links. I recommend you check it out. You really will like it. So, interesting article on apps. So, apps, everybody uses them. They're very popular, right? I mean, we all have them and things. Interesting statistics, though. I would not have known this. Apps are dominating consumers' digital media habits, but getting people to try new ones is a tough sell. According to the 2017 U.S. Mobile Apps Report, which finds that 57% of consumers' time spent using digital media is now taking place on mobile apps. 57% of our time is now being spent on digital mobile apps. Now, those 18 to 24 ages are just heavily using apps in general. They spend more than 3 hours per day in apps. A majority of users, 51%, still don't download any apps in a month. And that's the challenge, is people who are coming out with new apps, is getting people that we found our apps, we like the ones that we have, and we're not downloading new ones is the point. Of those who download one or more apps on average in a month, 13% download just one app. 11% download 2, 8% download 3, and then it trickles off from there. So I thought it was interesting, because I guess I thought I was the only one who wasn't downloading new apps all the time and trying them, but it sounds like everybody is. So the majority, 66% of people do not buy paid apps ever. Like, they just don't do them. So, but great article, a lot of statistics here. What is this here? Let's see. Today, the majority of app users access 20 or fewer apps per month, and their number one most used app accounts for half of all their time spent using apps. Okay, here's the question. What do you think the number one app for penetration into the marketplace is? Number 1, Facebook. Number 2, YouTube. Number 3 is Facebook Messenger. Number 4 is Google Search. Number 5 is Google Maps. Next is Instagram. After that is Snapchat. Then comes Google Play, and then Gmail. Those are the top ones. Oh, and then Pandora. Pandora is number 10. So wait a minute here. That means that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the top 10 are Google created and owned apps. Wow, that's pretty cool, man. Interesting. So that's what's going on in the app world. Interesting insight on that. So next, how about this? So I was watching the news in the storm in Texas and the flooding down there, and I saw this one article about ants. And they had these giant logs of ants that were like floating through the water. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. So I happened to come across an article about this. This is really, really fascinating. Ants didn't take over the world by being stupid or cowardly. Rafts of fire ants have been spotted floating around floodwaters in Houston, Texas, and their colonies banding together. What? Yes. Fire ants are an invasive species. They arrived in Texas in the 1950s. Fire ants make their home in the ground, which makes the insects extremely vulnerable to flooding. But should they detect something awry, the workers start linking together using hooks on their limbs. They form into a ball with the vulnerable members of the colony, eggs and larvae, and the queen bundled up in the center. How about that? They use the wax together on their bodies to keep the queen and other members of the colony in the middle of the ball dry so they don't suffocate. These are smart little critters, huh? Submerged workers from time to time shift above the water line so that they don't drown. So they're constantly moving to take their turns underwater. They'll float like this until they hit something dry, a log, a rock, or heaven forbid, your home. And then as soon as they hit something dry, woof, they just go and take over it. If you're wading around in floodwaters or run into a raft of 100,000 fire ants, your day will get considerably more complicated. The ants will board you and sting and not let go, even if you're submerged. Wow, this is crazy. But should the raft make it to dry surface, the ants form into an even more bizarre structure, a roiling liquid Eiffel Tower. The workers start climbing up a branch or what have you, while other ants stay at the base to support the weight. It looks like a chocolate fountain running in slow motion in reverse. That's just fascinating that those little critters that are so annoying are that smart to protect their queen and their colonies and the larvae in stormwater like that. So, but very Very interesting. I don't know. Last story I have for you. This story, I guess I have to be honest. I guess I missed this. Not as in I miss it like I wish I had it more, but I miss this as in it's not something that's on my radar. I guess I hear about this. I've never observed it in the real world, and it's very unsettling that this is true. This article is about two women co-founders of a startup and their experience out in the business world. These two people, I highlighted some sections here. They're Penelope and Kate, and they started a business of selling art online, okay? And they were trying to build a startup business of doing this, and they've done it quite well, but they were running into sexism, which, yes, we know that it's true, but this article is just, I don't know, you have to read the whole article. It's in the show links. When we were getting started, we were immediately faced with, are you sure? Does this sound like a good idea? I think because we're young women, a lot of people looked at what we were doing like, what a cute hobby, or that's a cute idea. Along the way, Gazin and Dwyer, that's their last names, had to come up with clever ways to overcome some of the more unexpected obstacles they faced. Some hurdles were overt. Early on, a web developer they brought on to help build the site tried to stealthily delete everything after one of them declined to go on a date with them. I mean, really? Seriously. In many cases, the outside developers and graphic designers they enlisted to help often took a condescending tone over email. These collaborators, who were almost always male, were often short, slow to respond, and vaguely disrespectful in correspondence. In response to one request, the developer started an email with the words, "Okay, girls." Now, up until this point, I'm like, all right, so, they bumped into some rude people. We all get that. I get that. I'm a guy. I don't take it as in that they don't like me because of my gender. But read the article on. That's when Gazin and Dwyer, last names, introduced a third co-founder, Keith Mann, an aptly named fictional character who could communicate with outsiders over email. They created a fake person co-founder of the male gender. Listen to this. It was like night and day, says Dwyer. It would take me days to get a response, but Keith, the fake guy, could not only get a response and a status update, but also be asked if he wanted anything else or if there was anything else that Keith needed help with. So the same people that these women were dealing with in different places, not just one person, but all different places with, they would then correspond with the fake co-founder male guy, and they would get quick responses, and the tone of the conversation would totally change. I got to tell you, doesn't sit well, especially since I have a daughter that is young and going to be coming into this world. I would hope that she would be respected for her mind, right? This is ridiculous, but it's an article and you must read it. I'm telling you, because it shines a light on something that just like I said, is not that strong on my radar. So, but those are the stories for today, guys. Let's go on and let's check and see what's trending. Top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google are: number 1, the NFL. Number 2, IT. Irma heads for Bahamas. But why is IT, the trending thing that brings up that? I don't understand. Number 3, the Patriots. Number 4, Equifax. Number 5, Mexico earthquake. Huge earthquake down in Mexico. Number 6, Sloane Stephens. Number 7 is Ari Luyundik Jr. Number 8 is the NFL schedule. Number 9, Lil Wayne. Number 10, home again. So you can see that it is football season and things are going on. So let's see. Sean says, so sad. We as men need to do all that we can do to change this. As a father, this is infuriating to me. It's our responsibility as males to change this, though. Agreed, Sean. I totally agree. And it's it really, right? But so anyways, that's what's trending on the Google Trends. Let's go on to our trending news today. The top news stories of today. Let's see. What do you think is at the top? I was wrong. I would have thought Irma was at the top of the trending news story, and it's not. Samuel Johnson's sister, Connie, dies. That's on the top of news. Samuel Johnson is from Australia. How does that make the number 1 trending news story? Wow. Next is United States Geological Survey. Deadly earthquake hits off the coast of southern Mexico. After that, we have the Chiefs versus Patriots. Chiefs trounced the Patriots in their home stadium. Next, Equifax. Equifax says 143 million consumers potentially hacked. Uh-oh. That's not good. Next, we have Hurricane Harvey. Former U.S. presidents announce Hurricane Harvey relief effort. After that, we have the Republic of China Air Force. China's military practices for surprise attack oversea near Korea. After that, we have Sarah Netanyahu. Israel's Sarah Netanyahu may face indictment, Attorney General says. After that, we have the Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. Federal court rejects part of Trump travel ban on extended family. And after that, two. One, Mexico. Mexico expels North Korean ambassador over nuclear tests. And last on that long list of trending news is Hurricane Irma. Leaves devastation of epic proportions in the Caribbean. That is, I can't believe that Hurricane Irma is that low on the list of news, but that's where it was. So, all right, guys, let's move on over to a passage of wisdom this morning. Now, this is actually kind of comedic. I sat down and I chose the passage of wisdom for today before, and I'm not making this up, before I went and read the comment that was left by our friend Martin that I started the episode with. Mr. Martin with the foul language, okay? Mr. Martin, once again, you are not banned. I just hid your comment, and I hope that this passage of wisdom that you don't take, well, it is personal for all of us, okay? But I did not choose this because of your comments. I just want you to know that. I chose this first. It's the craziest thing. How bizarre will this be? Today's passage of wisdom is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. I can't even believe this is the passage after how we started this episode with Martin. I can't, but it's funny. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Do not let unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Can you imagine that this is the passage of wisdom that came up in our book this morning that we're using in light of how we started our episode with our friend Martin? Unbelievable. So listen, guys, do not let unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, right? We're wasting time. It doesn't make anybody feel any better. It doesn't make you feel any better. In fact, when you're giving unwholesome talk and swearing or whatever it is, all it's doing is pulling you down into a dark place of drama and angst. It's not enlightening your spirit. It's not making you drawing into a happier place. You may say, oh, I'm glad I feel happy because I told that person off. Really, you don't. You really actually don't feel happy from it. But only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. We can all challenge ourselves to watch the words we talk. I used to swear like crazy. In the business that I'm in, people have foul language all the time, and I had changed that a long, long time ago. In fact, I remember the last time that I swore out loud, and because I felt terrible that I did it. Not because anybody heard me, but I knew that's not what God wanted me to do with my mouth, man. It was crazy. Good morning, Scott. Good to see you, buddy. I was on my mower, and I came running around a fence on the mower, and it shot a rock, hit a post, came back, clocked me right in the temple. And I was like, brah! And I was like, I can't believe I just did that, right? So all we can do, guys, is watch what comes out of our mouth. And it's that this passage isn't just about swearing. That's not what it's about simply, okay? Do not let unwholesome talk come out of our mouths. What are we doing? Are we tearing people down, gossiping? What are we doing? Are we building people up? But only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Our challenge for today and this week and the next 3 days is to watch the words that come out of our mouth. What are we saying? Is the intention to move people to a better place and benefit them? Or is it to release angst and drama and anger off of us and put it on somebody else? What is the intent of the words that we are saying? And can we change those if we need to? We should all, listen to this. And today I'm going to be paying attention to, what am I saying? I may not swear anymore, but I could be still saying things that are not beneficial to the people that I'm talking to. So that's our passage for today. Let's pray and let's get this day started. Father, good morning. Father, thank you for this Friday, September the 8th, 2017, this one and only day that we will never get to have again. Father, this morning I want to thank you for this passage of wisdom, that today as we go through our day, maybe we'll have extra radar and antennas on that are listening and make us aware of the words that are coming out of our mouths. Help us to be aware and help us change it if we feel so convicted that we want to change the way that we communicate with people, that we can become uplifters and a positive influence on the people that are around us, including our kids, and set the example by the language that we let come out of our mouths. It can be a real challenge, and I understand that, and please give us the strength to do that. Father, be with us through the weekend. Keep us safe. Father, I want to pray for Martin as well. Martin joined us on the morning routine yesterday. So glad that he was here. Obviously, there's something going on in his life. Father, give him peace today. Make him smile and laugh today like he has not done in a long, long time. Father, be with us. Keep us safe. We love you. Amen. And that, my friends, is a wrap. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. So glad you guys are here on the morning routine. And until Monday, don't forget to be exactly who you were meant to be. I love you guys. See you later.